Head smack. Oh, fucking hell, man. It still hurts me to this day. Oh, the blood splatter as well is horrible. What's happening, people? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm feeling kind of reminiscent. It's been exactly 6 months since I did my ACL and my meniscus in my knee, and I've been dying to ride my bike. It's really hard when you really want to ride, but you can't because you've just been injured. And I've had a lot of injuries over my BMX career. Not career, but you know, riding my bike. I get injured all the time. I'm prone to it. It always happens. But I want to go back and look at and react to my worst fall ever. It's in my recovery edit for when I broke my ankle. We made a recovery edit just to like document the process of me getting back on the bike. And then I went and, you know, concussed myself and split my head open. So yeah, I just want to like react to it and watch it over and give you some story and some backdrop of what actually happened on the days I recorded the clips and all that jazz. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, let's click play and let's get into it. And here's I think that was my first attempt at it. And then you go into this and you have the aftermath of the fall, which is really funny. Because that was about, so pause, that was about, I'd say 10 minutes after I'd fell. I had knocked myself out. I was knocked out for about a minute and a half, according to my friend. I don't remember, obviously. I woke up and I was like lying on my head, like I had my head on my arm, I guess. And yeah, I like pulled myself up and I felt the blood on my gloves and I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh no, I'm bleeding. And my friend was like calling an ambulance and he was just like, yeah, you're fucking bleeding, mate. I just thought it was quite funny. But yeah, let's keep it going. Oh, I actually might have to mute this because of the song. I'll lower it really low just so you can barely hear it. Yeah, and at this point here, yeah, so just before that, that's when so I fell in this like housing estate and I had about 12 people crowd around me and like give me cloths and stuff to like put on my head because I was bleeding quite heavily. And yeah, I was supposed to bring flowers to that woman's house who gave me the cloths, but I never did. I felt really bad. I should probably do that one day, even though this was like 5 years ago. But yeah, let's keep going. This is just me being put in the stretcher. I'm actually going to mute it just in case they copyright claim me. So I'm just going to mute that. I'll have some beats in the background or something. But yeah, this is me walking through the skate park with my boot on when I broke my ankle. And yeah, this is me being like, yeah, I'm going to get back into it. And then it drops into the clips. So that rail there, actually, I'd actually did that rail. But we had about 2 minutes of footage and they all got lost. It was left on a hard drive and the hard drive just got completely kablunked. And yeah, this is why this another reason why this is called Recuvera is it's a recovery edit for my ankle, but it's also we got a random software called Recuvera El Software. I kid you not, that's what it was called, and it recovered half the clips, but we never got this clip back. Unfortunately, I actually did that rail and I was quite proud of it because it's a very high hop. There's me falling on it again. And this is just me falling, doing the smacking the camera, doing whips, getting angry, you know, the typical stuff. This line was so early. I think this is like the first line. I'll just let it play. This is like the first line I got when I came off my ankle injury. So I was a feeble hard, then I barred down the steps, and then I 360'd it, which I was quite happy with because we used to always. That's like a local spot in my hometown, and we never. I'm gonna pause it there. I was like a local spot in our hometown, and no one had ever done ledge step. We'd always just done like a trick on the steps or a trick on the ledge. So it was quite cool. And this clip, this is to this day the longest clip. The longest time it's ever taken me to land the clip ever. I think it was about 2 hours. So it was a hop whip. So yeah, basically a flat hop whip. I do like a crank flip. It's the worst crank flip ever. I hate it. I wish it wasn't in this. But then the 180 bar was real nice. That literally, I was like passing out by how long it took me. It was in the cold. I think I landed about 50 hop whips. And I kept just missing the crank flip. I kept like flicking my feet and it wouldn't flick. And there was a few times where I did the 180 but I never threw the bar. It was one of the most frustrating lines of my life. Yeah, and this is just a little line in my local skate park. I'm kind of annoyed that a lot of it was in the skate park as well because I primarily ride street, but sure look, it was cool. I hate this as well. I hate when people do tricks like this. When you do like a full cab, like but it's out of nothing, like it's just a full cab on flat ground. I hate it. I don't know why I did it at the time. It was kind of cool when I did it back then, but I hate it now just looking back on it, just the way I ride now and stuff. And this dual peg hard, this is ages ago as well, and that was one of the cleanest ones I've ever done. This is before I had a free coast as well. This took ages as well. That's like a rail in Stillorgan, a place called Stillorgan. It's near my hometown, and it's like a really, really long rail. And I think someone grinded the whole thing before. I'm not too sure. Somebody I know grinded the whole thing before. But I saw it and I wanted to go back. I wanted to like do a peg hop over it, but I kept going on, do a peg in it, and I kept like bonking my front wheel and like hopping over it. So I kept like do a pegging, hopping up, bonking my front wheel, and that would make me take my foot off. So like I almost died like multiple times in that trick. But I was super proud of that. That's one of my favorite street clips I've ever gotten, to be fair. And this is the elusive Smith 180. Story behind that, we'll keep running. There's me celebrating. But basically the story behind that Smith 180 was when I broke my ankle, I was doing a Smith 180. So it might not look as cool as you think, but that trick haunted me ever, because I literally bent my ankle backwards, dislocated, broke 2 bones. It haunted me ever since it happened, and like I was terrified to try it again. But my mate was like, "You got it. You can just land at this go if you just, you know, give it your all." So I went back, landed the trick, and I was super happy about that. Even though it's just like such a little small trick in the edit, but it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? And that story never gets shared enough, so people are probably just seeing like me doing a Smith 180, being like, "Whoa, all he did was a Smith, and he's getting that happy." But yeah, I really like this line as well. The little nose manual to Smith, and I do like a hop whip into the spank. There's a very clean whip. To be fair, I liked it. And this took ages as well. This crank arm, if you look closely at it, I'll just play it, but you look closely at it, my left foot, so my back foot actually like hangs off when I'm doing it. So like I'm basically doing a 1 foot crank arm, and I just like land back on. See, my foot is just not on it. It's quite funny. And then this rail, I tried this rail back when I was younger, and I completely sacked myself on it. It's at the end of one of my other videos. But I went back and did it again, so it was like a little redemption. I was really happy about this, and it was pouring rain, and this is the only thing we went to do that day. Like, it was lashing rain, but I got all the boys out to come out and support me to do this rail, because I knew it was under shelter and stuff, so I was quite happy. This is the last trick, and then we have the fail, not the fail, the fall. And before we get into it, a little backstory, right? This rail, I had done half of it, but maybe a year prior. It's another edit. And a lot of people in the BMX community around me were like giving me shit for doing half a rail, go back and do the kink rail, go back and do the full rail. I never wanted to go back because it was actually a really scary rail, and it's not high, but once you get on it, you go really, really fast. It's a perfect rail. It's actually gone now, which is quite unfortunate. I'm not going to go back and try it, but yeah, it's gone now, which is quite unfortunate. But people were telling me, go back and hit the full rail, don't be a bitch. But I kept telling them no. I kind of wanted to surprise people for the end of the edit and be like, oh shit, he did the rail, whoa. But yeah, it didn't really end up like that. So I'll just let you watch the fall and I'll explain it after. So we get the double peg and we slip off, boom, head smack. Oh, fucking hell, man. It still hurts me to this day. I have the scar on my eyebrow, and oh yeah, all the blood pouring out onto my nice jumper and my nice gloves that I got for like £1. Oh, the blood splatter as well is horrible. It's horrible. And this is where I completely pass out. So yeah, backstory. So when I got on the rail, so basically I got there, and the last time I was there I bitched it so many times before like going up to it and then eventually hopping on. Today I was like determined. I was like, I'm gonna go hop on this rail first try. I'm gonna just fly down it. So I did it twice before. I hopped on, I just slipped off and onto the other side into the grass, and then I did it again, slipped off again into the grass. So I was like, if I go a little bit faster and lean more into the steps, I think I can get this really easy. I was so confident. I've actually never been more confident about a trick in my life, which was really weird because it was quite scary, but I was so confident I was going to land this. I got onto it, and what happened was I leaned too much inwards. So when I actually hit the kink hit my front peg, and that just sent me sideways. And I actually remember like the jolt it gave me, and a proper like, I don't know, I really wasn't expecting it. I was on the rail, sliding, whoop-de-doo, going down the rail, hit the kink, and it bucks me to the left, and I'm like, okay, fine, it's alright, I'll just land on the steps like I did before, because like I said before, I'd hit half the rail and just jumped into the steps. It was fine. But whatever way it bucked me to where I was leaning like that, like sideways, like when I was landing on the steps. So I landed like sidewall on my tire on the steps, and that just bucked me like from the steps to the flat ground, and I just like landed straight, all face on the floor, and I kind of like slid a little bit. It's annoying because my mate who was filming it didn't really like, once he saw the impact he kind of moved away, which is understandable because it was a bad fall. but it kind of annoys me the way you don't really see me going like sliding on the ground, because like, you know, it's a funny clip to have. But yeah, so once again, knocked myself out for 90 seconds. 2 ambulances came, and yeah, there's a few more clips of just me chilling in the hospital being a mad cunt. So yeah, here's me on the stretcher. They left me in that neck brace and stretcher for I'm not even joking, about 6 hours, because they were freaking out that I had like brain damage and shit. So I had to go get an MRI on my head straight away, like emergency MRI. I went in there, I was so loopy, I don't know what was going on. So I'm there in my neck brace. My mate actually snuck the camera in, which is really funny. So here's me with like the headband on, like the turban with like this big thing on my face. My mate snuck the camera in to film me in the hospital, and he got caught and actually got kicked out of the hospital, which is hilarious. But yeah, I had that like turban on. Not turban, I didn't mean to be offensive, you know what I mean? But a little like bandage on or whatever. I had no shirt on. I was in the hallway because they had all the rooms were taken, so I was just in the hallway sitting down, and yeah, they had no room for me. I was sitting there with no shirt on because they cut off my top and everything to get me into the MRI. So I was freezing. I was absolutely freezing, just sitting there. My whole family showed up, all crying, thinking I was gonna die and stuff. But I felt alright. I felt good. Like as you can see there. I'm just laughing. Like not laughing because obviously it's not funny, because obviously it's quite a scary fall. But like I came to sense, and like I got through it, and I was like, I don't need to be here. They were saying to me that I might need to be there for like the rest of the night, but eventually I got let to go home because I was actually feeling alright. Funnily enough, when I got up, like when I got out of the bed, I had really bad like head rush, and I almost fell over, and the nurse had to catch me, which is quite funny. So yeah, keep it going. There's me, always recovering, which is basically me, always injured, always recovering from something. It's my knee now, which is quite funny. But yeah, filmed and edited by Colleen Garvey. That's my mate who filmed all my edits back in the day. Recovering. So yeah, I just thought I'd go back and kind of watch and react to my old fall, seeing as I did my ACL and my meniscus now, and that's probably my knee injury now is like the worst injury I've had. It's been about 6 months, and I'm still not able to get back on the bike. I think I'm able to get on the bike in 2 weeks, and get back into it, but it's like the longest injury I've had, and like the most severe. Had to get reconstructive surgery on my knee, and it just reminded me of like when I hit my head and stuff. I just want to go back and react to it. I thought it'd be a little cool video, a little bit of a change up from like the pipe videos and the gaming videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, that was me. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz, hit the notification bell to stay updated with all my videos, and I appreciate it, guys. See you guys next time. Thanks.